Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia, where the clickbait continues in the Tomlin trade talk. Man, I can't believe it. I actually can't believe this one. So yesterday, this happened around the league and a lot of websites, and I'm going to tell you guys where the source came from as well. I'm going to start there and then try and break this down. But at the overall scheme of things, the overall idea, the overall in a nutshell, a Tomlin trade to the Panthers just doesn't make sense at all. But we have to start from the beginning. And as we start from the beginning, I'm going to leave this picture up because I know it annoys a lot of people. And Mike Tomlin is a winner. But we're going to need to start from the very beginning. So yesterday, and I'm reading from allsteelerstalk.com with my good mate Noah Struckman. I use his articles a lot. So I'm reading from that, and I will link the article in the description. So this came from apparently it's from Mike Florio during an appearance on 93.7 The Fan. I believe that's a Pro Football Talk, might be in Pittsburgh, somewhere like that. I'm not too sure. I don't know where it is. But it's from 93.7 The Fan, and it's legit just a rumor. There is no backing to this whatsoever. So during an appearance on 93.7 The Fan, Pro Football's Talk, Mike Florio, I'm reading from All Steelers Talk. There was a quote here saying his thoughts about trading coaches with the NFL. Now, Florio goes on to say, and his quote is, "I don't think teams do it enough," Florio said. "It happened a couple of times in the past decade. We know what's going to happen with Sean Payton at some point. I'm talking about trading a guy for a guy like John Gruden with the Raiders. Buccaneers come in with a couple of first-round picks. Boom, they do the deal. There was compensation for Herm Edwards, compensation for Bruce Arians, who was already retired by Arizona Cardinals. It wouldn't surprise me if David Tepper does it. Now, I believe that David Tepper is the owner of the Carolina Panthers, or is some kind of affiliation with them. So David Tepper also has links with the Pittsburgh Steelers, so keep that in mind. Now, Florio went on to say, he went on to mention Tomlin, and he wouldn't be surprised if it happens in this spring. So this is where the rumor starts, and then everyone starts talking about it. But I reckon it won't happen. I reckon 99% this is not going to happen. So he says here in a quote, another person to keep in mind is Bill Belichick for the Panthers. Florio continued. There are storm clouds are brewing. They wouldn't fire him. They wouldn't let him walk away with no compensation. Maybe Tomlin to Carolina, and that's where the rumor started. Right? Wouldn't surprise me if that happened. I'm surprised that vehicle isn't used more often. For highly accomplished Super Bowl coaches, he kind of has a point there. Has a little bit of a point. And then he continues about talking about Tomlin to the Panthers. And he says here too, people act like the Rooneys haven't figured out some great formula of stability. It's always been this way. Before Chuck Noll, they were firing guys left and right. The thing is, though, like before Chuck Noll was like legit how many years ago? 50 odd years ago. So that quote doesn't really make too much sense to me. They were firing guys left and right. That was like 50 years ago, man. It's been Chuck Noll. It's been Bill Cowher. And now it's Mike Tomlin. Now, he says here, if they fired Mike Tomlin, and I'm not saying they should, if it's going to happen, it's better they happen in a trade. But they're never going to fire him. I agree with that. The Steelers are never going to fire Mike Tomlin. I know a lot of the Pittsburgh Steelers fire Mike Tomlin crowd would be super happy to see him leave. But it's beyond ridiculous at this point that people even want to fire Tomlin. I just don't understand. But back to the clickbait. Don't clickbait. Steelers rumors. Click this, click that. Tomlin trade. It's not going to happen, guys. This is just absolutely ludicrous. The Steelers are versing the Panthers this week, and this comes out of somewhere, out of bloody nowhere. Like, I highly doubt that the Rooneys would trade away a coach that's never had a losing season, a coach that's been there for 16 years. Mike Tomlin knows his players. Mike Tomlin knows the organization inside and out. Been there, 16 years. Has won Super Bowl. He's been to 2. Now, people forget. A lot of Tomlin haters, they forget that this guy has been quite successful in the NFL. He has a record of 159 wins and I believe 95 losses and 2 ties. Like, why would you trade away? Think about it, right? Forget your bias right now. Forget your bias that you hate Mike Tomlin. Forget that you think he can't win the playoffs. He's this, he's that, you know what I'm saying? Which doesn't make any sense. It's all been debunked that this whole notion about cowards players, they're not cowards players. The minute that Mike Tomlin signs up to be the coach, they're Tomlin's players. And also it's the whole team. Everyone seems to label the failure on Tomlin when they suck. But in reality, it's just the whole team. It's all 53. It's the Matt Canada offense. It's the Terrell Austin defense. It's on Tomlin. It's on everyone, right? This fella, Mike Tomlin, does not get enough credit. He gets a lot of blame, a lot of criticism when he loses, but when he wins, he doesn't get enough credit. He's taken the Steelers, I believe, to the playoffs in the last 16 years, I think 7 times. 7 to 8 times. Probably even more, maybe 10 times. Right? He's been there a fair few times to the playoffs. Other teams would kill for a coach like Mike Tomlin. Carolina would definitely kill for a coach like Mike Tomlin. But this overall stuff, the Tomlin trade, don't clickbait, Steelers rumors, it's all rubbish. It's all rubbish. And yes, I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game for once. There are so many channels out there, and I'm not going to name names, but there's one out there in particular that sounds like a robot called Pittsburgh Steelers News, and it's not a real person. So for once, I'm playing the game. Tomlin trade, don't click. You know what? It doesn't make any sense. I could make up a rumor tomorrow about Patrick Mahomes has interest in joining the Steelers, and it might go viral. But it's not going to happen. The Pittsburgh Steelers will not trade away Tomlin. I would be very surprised. Tomlin has his contract till 2024, and then they may either extend it or maybe Tomlin goes and finds a new team. I don't think they're going to trade him. I don't think even if you do trade him, then you've got no coach. What's going to happen? Who's going to fill and roll for coach? Who's going to be the head coach of the team? So you're telling me you go and get 2 first-round picks, maybe a few seconds, and you try and build your team up? Who's going to coach the Pittsburgh Steelers? That's the other side of the argument too, to the Tomlin haters. I'm like, who's going to coach, or who would you fill in for Mike Tomlin? For me, at the end of the day, Mike Tomlin is a winner. And if you like it or don't like it, I really don't care anymore, because the Mike Tomlin crowd, I overly think they're just not happy with some things with our Steelers. He's legit got 4 games to go to still have a chance to have a winning season. And yeah, it's all about Super Bowls. But you know how hard it is to win Super Bowls? It's really hard to win a Super Bowl. And Mike Tomlin has won. He has won in his possession. We have the Debo Harrison run back for 99 yards versus the Cardinals. We have won his possession. And it almost could have been another Super Bowl in Mike Tomlin's possession. He's led the team to victory. He can do it again. And this nonsense about trading him to the Panthers is an absolute just spare of the moment. I reckon he could be traded to the Panthers. And that's it. Now, let's play devil's advocate, though. Right? Let's play devil's advocate. I would laugh so hard, like so hard, if this actually happened. Right? I would hope if this did happen, and I have no control over it. Right? If this happened, I would laugh so hard for 2 reasons. Mike Tomlin would be a fantastic coach for the Carolina Panthers. He would definitely try and turn what that division is. The NFC South is a pretty horrible division right now, right? You got Tom Brady in there with the Bucs. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's getting older and older. But I would laugh so hard because Tomlin would turn around the Panthers easily, right? Maybe not the first year, maybe not the second year, but he would turn it around after a while. I would laugh hard because I would love to see if he went out and won playoff games. And say, for instance, the Carolina Panthers won a Super Bowl, right? Everybody would absolutely be just shut up. It would have to shut people up. I would love to see him be so successful that the Steeler fans pretty much yelled him out of town, said, "You're the worst. Fire Mike Tomlin. He's the worst coach in history. He's crap." To then see him win a Super Bowl in 2023, 2024. And even better, to see him win a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold. Now, a lot of you guys say, well, it's not going to happen. There's no way. Sam Darnold's terrible. We're versing him on the weekend. Tomlin can't win. He's done and dusted. But I would love to see it. I would love to see the look on your faces or in the comments, because you'd have nothing left. At the end of the day, Tomlin is a winner. He's a winner. And you know why he's a winner? Because he's a leader of men. and he has a winning attitude also. And finally, he has a winning record. He's never had a losing season. Mike Tomlin is 159 wins, 95 losses, and 2 ties. Something around those numbers. I don't quite know the exact stat, but it's around those numbers. So for people saying, oh, yeah, we should trade him to the Panthers, that's going to be a thing. It's all clickbait. It's all still a rumor. It's not going to happen. It'd be highly doubtful to see this happen. And you know what? I had to get involved. I had to get involved in this thing because it's just comical to me that these things actually exist and come out of nowhere. And of course, it happens when the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't playing well. But if it did happen, the Carolina Panthers would be pretty happy. Pretty damn happy, right? There's only a few players I know on their roster, but they got Sam Darnold, quarterback. They got Chuba Hubbard, the running back there too. Brian Burns, the defensive end. He's a big fella. He's good. Shaq Thompson, middle linebacker, right? They got some fellas there. They got some fellas in this team. But Tomlin would come in. He would straight up be a leader. He'd turn the organization around. He'd get them winning divisions. He'd get them ready to play. And Pittsburgh Steeler fans are very spoiled. Very spoiled. You're always talking about it's about Super Bowls. We need to go and win a Super Bowl. We have 6. What do you want? 15 of them? I dead set don't understand. A lot of you guys and girls in the fire Tomlin crowd are just like, oh, but we want Super Bowls, and it's all about playoffs. It's not about the winning season. This fella has never lost it. He's never lost. He's never had a losing season. Never, ever. And if he does have a losing season, so what? You got to go up through some good times, some great times, and some really bad times. I legit don't understand the Tomlin trade rumor to the Panthers, and I legit don't understand the reason why people want to fire Tomlin all the time. Around the league, so many people and so many players and NFL stars and coaches respect the absolute hell out of Tomlin for what he's done for the organization, getting them to 2 Super Bowls, getting them in the chance for the playoffs pretty much every year. Almost every year, the Steelers make the playoffs under Tomlin. Pretty much. Yeah, but he's had an 8-9 record. He's lost 4 in a row. Losing happens. A lot of you guys who want to fire Tomlin, you're the same crowd that want to fire him. Yeah, but we should tank. We need a tank. Oh, tank. Man, this ain't no time for Tom as a tank engine. Ain't no time for that. The time now is for winning. Absolutely winning. And the Pittsburgh Steelers can do that. And Mike Tomlin has been through one of the hardest seasons with a rookie quarterback. TJ Watt went out. Minka was out for a while. They had to bring in Trubisky. That didn't work out, right? Kenny Pickett gets injured twice now. Rightio. There's a lot going on. The defense being pretty banged up throughout the whole season, right? A lot of pressure on Tomlin, sure, but there's also a lot of pressure. Should be a lot of pressure on Terrell Austin and Matt Canada. It's ridiculous. He's been so successful. Mike Tomlin has been so successful throughout his entire stint with the Steelers over 16 years, 159 wins, and he's always been in front, always given the Steelers the best chance to win. And the minute he loses a game or two, or on the cusp of a losing season, the fire Tomlin crowd, yeah, get rid of him, get rid of Tomlin. He's bad, he's crap, he's terrible. I don't understand. I legit don't understand. But that was my episode of Tomlin trade or don't clickbait Steelers rumors. Click this, click that. Hope you guys did click. Hope you guys like the content. I'm just overly fed up with this kind of stuff. There are 4 games to go. 4 games to go. And a lot of people are saying it's not meaningful. This next game isn't meaningful. You go and tell the players that. Go and tell Najee Harris. Go and tell whoever plays at quarterback, Mason Rudolph, or if it's Trubisky, or if it is Kenny Pickett. We don't know yet. You go and tell those fellas that offensive lineman is not meaningful. You go and tell the fellas that run every single down for the whole game, for 70 snaps or 75 snaps, that they're feeding their family, that they're making a living on the NFL field. You go and tell the coaches they're trying to save their job. It's not meaningful. If it's not meaningful to the Fire Tomlin crowd and to the Tank crowd, then don't watch. Simply don't watch. If you think it's not meaningful, come back in April. See you later, mate. Catch ya. See you in April. If it's not meaningful, catch you later. Because this is meaningful for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers need to win this game. They need to beat the Panthers. And if they do beat the Panthers, they still have a playoff chance. If they lose this game, then they're knocked out of the playoffs. But if they win this game, they still have a chance for a playoff run and the playoffs and the 7th seed. This is damn right meaningful. And the Tomlin trade makes no sense, but the Pittsburgh Steelers want to win, no matter who shows up. You don't think it's not meaningful for Jalen Warren, undrafted, who wants to go out there and prove his best? You don't think it's not meaningful for Connor Haywood, who's trying to prove his best too on the offense, or Fryermuth or whoever, or Karzee coming back, Terrell Edmonds, who he's going to be a free agent next year? It's crazy to me what the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, the narrative is fire Tomlin, tank the season, and this game isn't meaningful. If it's not meaningful, don't watch. If you don't want to watch football, then I'll watch it. I'll be the one waking up at 5 a.m. to watch the game. You can sit at your house and put on a drama, watch the Christmas specials, because I don't care. If it's not meaningful, then don't watch. If it's not meaningful, then why are you in the comments? Why are you in the comments saying all this stuff about fire Tomlin? He sucks. Tomlin's the worst coach in history. I just don't understand. I really do not understand. But here I am talking on the internet. Clickbait, Steelers rumors, Tomlin trade. Yeah, it's going to happen. Tomlin's going to be traded to the Carolina Panthers. You'll see it happen next year.
Here we go, Steelers! Here we go! Coach Tomlin, let's go for the win, man.